Hello, everybody. This will be video one to the series, which is the mechanics of being, the true mechanics of being. All right. And what I want to do for you right now is go ahead and share my screen so that we can get started. All right, perfect. So the title will be Attention is Greater Than Emotions: How to Bypass the Discomforts of Emotions to Manifest Faster. All right. Emotions is not the engine of manifestation, attention is. What you give your attention to is what grows. Even when emotions are heavy, if your attention is rooted in truth, your world must conform to that truth. I'm going to let you know of a quick example of this because it says, even when emotions are heavy, if your attention is rooted in truth, your world must conform to that truth. And truth, you all, is anything that you assume to be true. An assumption, like a belief, is nothing but something you continue to think or assume over and over again. It just takes repetition to adopt it, to claim it, to utilize it, and to actually witness it, be of benefit in your life, requires your attention, which takes awareness. I recall having to get surgery before, and all of the different emotions that come up, the fears that come up, the angst that comes up, they are heavy. But knowing who I am, knowing my work, I utilized my stillness. By rooting my attention in that stillness, I was rooting my attention in the truth that all would be well. Everything will work out just fine. The outcome would be perfect, etc. And that's exactly what happened. So again, your world must conform to whatever you make true for you. This is the law of whatever you say works. Emotions only matter when you assign them power. You do not need to suppress them either. I felt those emotions. I went through those emotions and they were real because the closer I got to the date, the surgery date, the more real it felt. I'm sorry, I didn't move my camera on this thing. But yeah, the more real it felt. But I didn't suppress them. I let them be there. I just didn't give them any dialogue. I didn't give them any validation. I didn't sit and agree with them with my attention. You do not need to fix them. You only need to refuse to let them outrank your assumption. That's when manifestation becomes inevitable. That's when it becomes silent, effortless, sobering. The 8 laws that prove it. This is what I really liked about this discussion with ChatGPT because we're going to break down the 8 laws that prove that what I am saying about your emotions is valid. We will also break down those very same laws when it comes to stillness. And in the end, we're going to bridge the gap to the both of them. And it should give you more insight, more clarity, more certainty on actually putting in the work because it's time to get moving. You're sitting around in fear and dwelling in all of the hows and all of the but what ifs and maybe I should do it like this. Get out of that. Let's focus on doing the actual work. So I'm excited. Again, this is going to be a really good series. It is a little bit advanced, but it's not hard to understand. Remember that. The 8 laws that prove it. Number 1, my favorite, law of assumption. What you assume to be true is what becomes your reality. Emotions rise and fall. They are reactions, not decisions. But assumption is a decision. It's final. Okay? It is the tone of your inner world, not your neighbors, not your brothers, not your sisters, not your mother, not your father, not your kids. It's based on your inner world. It's final also in the moment that you assume it. It is the tone of your inner world. Your attention to your assumption outweighs any passing emotion. You can feel sad and still manifest. You can feel unsure and still receive, you guys, because you assumed. And that is law according to the first law we just went over, which is law of assumption. All right. This is what I mean when I say you don't have to be happy go lucky to get what you want. There's somebody right now upset, sad, or worried or about whatever it is that they may be worried or upset or sad about, but they're doing it while in their mansion. Hey, Rich, you're human. This is why being is enough. This is why this is titled The True Mechanics of Being. This is the dissection of being and why everybody keeps saying just be, just be, just be. But we're going to get into why being actually works. Law number 2, law of attraction. Like attracts like. Focus is the magnet. Most people believe feeling good is the magnet. It isn't. It's focused attention that creates the signal. Emotion may amplify focus, yes, but it does not create it. If your attention is locked in, the manifestation is already unfolding. You attract what your attention dwells in, not how you feel in the moment. Again, you attract what your attention, which is the currency of your thinking, dwells in, not how you feel in the emotion. Unless you are attentive that how you feel in the emotion is what is required to attract. And that's why I'm trying to get you to separate from that idea, because that's going to limit you. If you can only create based on how you feel, then you're gonna have to feel happy-go-lucky every fucking day. And that's just not realistic. That's just not humane. That's just not common. Sometimes we're just neutral and flat. It's just regular degular. Then what? You mean I can't have what I want because I'm calm, cool, and collected and not all bouncing off of the walls everywhere? No, it doesn't make sense. So let it fly. Law of vibration. Law number 3. You vibrate what you focus on over time, not what you momentarily feel. Feelings are temporary. You can feel low. That's why when you receive something, it's all excited in the beginning, but then eventually it fades. You're not still that excited about it. Not as excited as you were in the very beginning. So you can feel low, but if your inner dialogue is anchored in truth, your vibration remains high. This is why repetition matters, not for motivation, but for stabilization. It creates tone. It creates a tone of trust, a tone of knowing, a tone of validity, a tone of certainty. But you have to show up and do it over and over again for you to actually experience those things so that they can be valid to you. And that validity is what stabilizes you. But it is only through repetition of it that you can witness it. Your attention sets your vibration, not emotion. Train the attention and the frequency will follow. That's it. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Law number 4. Higher frequency energy transforms lower frequency energy. Attention is alchemical. It is higher than emotion on the energetic scale. Your attention is higher than the emotion on the energetic scale. I wonder why that is. Could it be that it's because attention is God? Because attention is awareness? It takes awareness to be attentive. And I don't know anything that outranks God. How could it when God is the one that created everything? So it is higher than emotion on the energetic scale. You can alchemize sadness simply by focusing attention on wholeness, certainty, or truth. Energy does not stay stuck. You do. Your attention does. Attention redirects it. I feel fear, but I know it's done. That's transmutation in action. You sit in your attention while being fearful and think that because you are afraid, that this means you're not going to get your manifestation. But I am telling you, it is only your attention to label fear as such, which makes it so. In that same attention, you can redirect to your favor instead, while still feeling that same sense of fear. With your attention, you can direct it to a better dialogue. Despite this fear, I still get what I want. Just that simple. Okay, let's go to law number 5. Law of divine oneness. You are already connected to everything you desire. Emotions are temporary waves in the field, but awareness is the eternal thread that connects you to all things. That thread is not strengthened by intensity. It is revealed in still attention. You don't have to feel worthy. You already are. What matters is where you place your attention, because you are one with awareness, and awareness is all. Law of polarity. Law 6. Every state has its opposite. You only know joy because of sadness. Polarity is so important, and when you know how it works and actually work it, it sets you free. Every state has its opposites. You only know joy because of sadness. You only know what you want because you know what you don't want. It's necessary. So stop letting them beat you up. Feeling doubt is not evidence of failure. It is proof that certainty exists, because in that moment that you are feeling doubt, consider it one end of the stick. But if it is indeed a stick, that means it has two ends. So if you're experiencing one end, that means the other end is there too. It's just you have not consciously highlighted it with your attention. That's it. Be smarter than they are, because you are. Just because fear or doubt is present doesn't mean it's a be all end all. It means, oh, good, I'm glad you're here. Because if you're here, that means the opposite end of you is here too. So guess what? I claim that instead. And you go on about your day. And you do it just like that, because you're the boss, not it. Feeling doubt is not evidence of failure. It is proof that certainty exists, and attention is the bridge between the two. As soon as you place your attention on its polar opposite, that is what you are now observing. Therefore, that is what you are funding with the currency of your attention, your awareness. Therefore, it must thrive. Don't try to fix the emotion. Just re-anchor the assumption. That's where the power is. That is your work to do. And it is simplistic. And once you get around the fear of your emotions, you will realize just how simplistic it really is. Your emotions keeping you scared and having you in a chokehold is preventing you from doing the work necessary to get out of there. So you don't have to fear them anymore. So you don't have to doubt them anymore. Law number 7, law of correspondence. Your outer world reflects your inner attention, not your passing feelings. You might feel heavy today, but if you're repeating, I am provided for, this is unfolding perfectly, I am chosen, I am loved, then your outer world must reflect it. The outer world mirrors your sustained attention, not your emotional mood. Again, nothing outranks attention because attention is God. So, how could the emotions be what change your outer world? The only way that it does is because it's holding your attention. Stop funding them. Your attention is the only thing that's making them valid, making them stick, making them linger around longer than they need to. Law number 8, the last and final law of rhythm, at least the ones we're going to discuss. All things move in cycles. Emotion is a wave, not a block. Feeling bad doesn't sabotage your manifestation. Who told y'all that? According to whom? If it's according to you, then you're right. Waves are part of the rhythm. You are not off track. You're in motion. And what anchors the rhythm? Ding, ding, ding. Attention. It's the stabilizer that holds you steady through the emotional tide. That's it. What to do instead of feeling better? Now, if you can feel better, go ahead and feel better. But I need you to understand that feeling better is not a requirement for the receiving of what it is that you desire. You are perfect exactly as you are. No matter how you are today while watching it, you can be upset, you can be sad. You could have just finished crying prior to pressing play on this video, and you can still have exactly what you want despite the tears. You do not need to feel better. You need to choose the assumption that reflects your end. Anchor your attention there. Let emotions pass without assigning them power. You know how you assign them power? By validating them through inner dialogue, by confirming them and saying, this is so fucked up. It's always some bullshit. I can't stand this. I hate my life. Da, 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 da. You're feeding me. All of that takes attention to do. And you just glued those emotions with all of those thoughts and verbiages and inner references. And it needs that. That's how it eats. That's how it's surviving. Because you're feeding it. Stop. Let emotion pass without assigning them power. Emotion is weather. Attention is climate. Okay? Power statement. What makes a thought powerful is not whether it feels good. What makes it powerful is how long you're willing to fund it with your attention. But we take it a step further here on the IAmTheOperantPower channel, because our thoughts actually do feel good, because I am teaching you how to make them feel good, which will make them easier for you to place your attention on over and over and over again. That is what the power of being generally specific does. You are going to have general specific from the end thoughts, because they're general enough to bypass your logic, therefore not triggering your ego or your nervous system or anything within you that causes discomfort around the subject. We're going to generalize that portion while also being specific enough to suggest that what you're trying to get is complete. And that in itself is going to be easier to be attentive to, because it doesn't cause any friction in you as you repeat it. And what makes it powerful is how long you're willing to fund it with your attention. It's easier to fund something like that with your attention because it's easier to say, it's more comforting. So although it's not necessary to feel good, we've already bypassed how to do that as well, to make it even better for you to just go ahead and do the work. That's the purpose of this series, for you to be confident enough to just go ahead and do the work now. Final takeaway. You don't manifest by feeling good. You manifest by knowing and staying aware of what you know. Remember that as we go along. You manifest by knowing and staying aware of what you know, even when you don't feel good. That's the secret. That's the skill. That's the power of attention over emotion. This has been video 1 of the series. I am going to go ahead and make video 2. So stay tuned, because as you go along, all of the clickings and the gems and the comprehensions, they're going to build a bridge on each other. And we're going to get some understanding here, but more importantly, we're going to have calm conviction to do the work so we can start getting our shit. All right, so stay tuned for video 2.